You missed quite a scrap, gentlemen, and an opportunity to slay a monarch. There was a struggle and the prince was wounded.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon covering the battlefield. For any who still have doubts, this is no mundane mist, nor a petty fairground illusion. Most likely, we're up against a blood curse, an old and powerful spell. We do not know who cast it or why. For now, I have one piece of good news and several pieces of bad news. The good news is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time being.
And the bad news?
The mist will grow. It may even engulf Vergen. Furthermore, wraiths may emerge from it.
Can they be made penitent? With an axe to the head?
In theory, yes. But I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to drive it off? Exorcise it?
A question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Course he didn't. Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You'll see he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous. In addition, we need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burden.
At your service, my lady.
Thank you. To lift the curse, we require some objects symbolic of the war, ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pfft, more scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
Take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia, you know well...
How many?
We dwarves are near 200, but don't judge us by our number.
1,500 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5 to 1 against us. What think you of that?
We are few, they are many, but we have our walls, low though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria.
We have something better. Yorvith's elves. Scoia'tael. Gentlemen, I give you Yorvith.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers, here they are. I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves, but even a shit-coated stick can be a weapon. He burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Yorvith came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that? He's an elf! Treason runs in his veins!
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years, his fight makes sense. The Scoia'tael know no peace. They've died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They've been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well led. They cannot be scared off or routed. They have to be killed. I want Yorveth to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadweni for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Yorveth stays.
Bloody hell! Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
Nay, you killed my men, Elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't killed them, they'd have killed me.
All right. For the sake of better times, and for Kedwin's doom, aye!
Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
Poison! She's dying. Take her somewhere safe and guard her with your lives. I'll gather what I need and join you soon.
I'll place my best warriors on watch.
Quickly, lads! A litter!
She ceased casting spells.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking, I've slowed her life functions as far as possible. Her condition is stable.
Do you know the poison?
Thaumadur, commonly known as mage pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use Letho right now.
The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed exceptional resistance and strength. As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
You'll have her drink human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
What kind of herbs are we talking about?
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the Immortelle, and an elven rose of remembrance.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the Enshe who succeeded in cultivating the roses enjoyed great respect,
Times have changed.
as have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find. Where will we find Immortelles?
They grow deep beneath the earth, which should not be a problem as Vergen lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The Immortelle will help restore them.
What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thaumadur is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right, all right. Let's forget the rings. I need a vast quantity of the power, no matter the source. Find something.
An immortelle, a rose of remembrance, royal blood and magic sounds like a fairy tale.
A poor one at that. No prince's kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable. May I count on your help, Geralt?
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle. Maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poisoner.
Only Philippa Eilhart may enter.
Don't let her die, Vatkin.
People of Vergen, we have a magical mist full of ghosts just outside our walls, so you'd better think twice before entering it. The mist, may the plague take it, threatens all manner of creatures, so anyone headed to the quarries or walking through the gullies should take exceptional heed. The squirrels that have made camp by the burnt huts are not our enemies, so says Saskia, and so it is. Master Geralt of Rivia and Sorceress Philippa Eilhart will deal with the mist and the wraiths. And now, open the gates and get to work.
I must talk to you, Witcher. Let me tell you about the
Look,
woman who
another
fell
one.
from the sky.
You let one human in and in no time... I've told that story 1,000 times. I've heard enough of flying women.
It was very unusual.
Business or rest?
Rest. And maybe some trading.
Ah, welcome. How can I help you?
going on?
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
Ah, you've told that story 1,000 times. I've heard enough of flying women.
It was very unusual.
What would be unusual?
Only Philippa Eilhart may enter.
So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
Thought we had a basilisk.
What's to consider? You're not just any trouble, mate.
Very little. In the end, they end up dead, shouting, "We really showed them."
Your Brit's different. We haven't had a leader like him in ages.
Me? Remember this, an elf's an elf, a dwarf's a dwarf, and no bandit will ever make a good soldier.
Wasn't listening. I didn't say that.
I need more time.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
But I can't look for them now.
I can do that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something. What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked Edirn, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glefisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led to both armies being routed. Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel. I'd say she did a good job, considering.
Know anything about blood curses?
Do you?
We're dealing with a 4th level curse, also known as the Curse of the Archmistress.
Well, well, I'm impressed.
Thing is, until now I thought it was only a myth, that such a curse couldn't be cast.
You thought wrong. There are 6 confirmed cases of this curse being inflicted.
What about confirmed cases of it being lifted?
1. Achieved by a team of sorcerers led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, hence the curse's other name. Sabrina Glevizig was on the team.
Small world.
That's not all. The curse investigated by Francesca and Sabrina was designed to end the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. They were cursed by Scarlet Rodalega, a complete madman, but very talented. An eclipse and wraiths also accompanied his curse.
So Sabrina's curse is just a knockoff Rodalega.
Exactly.
Did you notice? Not all the ghosts were aggressive.
Yes. Most just disappeared when they touched the aura of a living person.
I think the curse corrupts the ghosts of the fallen and turns them into draugrs.
Is that the Witcher's professional name for wraiths?
Draugrs are demons of war. They arise at sites of exceptionally vicious, bloody battles. Their bloodlust and hatred in condensed form.
Can you kill them by conventional means?
A silver sword is enough for a draugr, but as long as the curse remains active, new ones will arise. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If I could turn the tide of the battle...
For that you'll need symbols of war belonging to those who fell in battle. Hatred, death, courage, and faith. All artifacts must be magically active and connected to the fallen, or they won't lure the ghosts.
Right. I'll look around.
Finding 2 will be enough. Get the symbols of hatred and death and leave the rest to me.
I'd prefer courage and faith.
Don't fuss.
I'll see what I can do. Cecil seems to know a lot about the area. Can Francesca's experience help us?
Certainly. I know the symbols and the workings of the curse thanks to her.
Care to explain? I'm the one risking my neck.
You'll have to relive the battle and change its course at the right moment. I don't know exactly what will happen. Nobody does.
I'll look for those artifacts. I'm good for now. I'll let you know when I learn something.
You wanted to discuss something?
I'm looking for Triss. Letho forced her to teleport near Vergen.
Letho?
Foltest's killer, perhaps Demavend's too. Will you help me find her?
Certainly. We sorceresses must stick together. We have too many enemies.
Triss contacted you through Sheila de Tanzerville's megascope while in Flotsam.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Can you locate her?
A megascope responds to a person's aura. If I had something of hers, I could find her. You were close to her. Maybe you have something.
No, I don't have anything.
Not good. Wait. A local drunkard claims he saw a redhead fall out of the sky. This could be a lead.
There are many redheads.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As it's our only lead, I'll talk to this drunkard. Do you know him?
I'm not used to associating with drunkards, but you'll likely find him in the inn.
Thank you.
Come back as soon as you learn anything.
Who are you?
I'm Cynthia, a mage in training. Philippa is my mentor.
My condolences.
No need for that. True, she's a demanding mistress, but she can also be charming. Besides, she's the best there is, Witcher. She has no equals, excepting perhaps the old elven sorceresses. You should see her cast spells. Light and graceful she is, not like that old tart de Tanzerville.
Just out of curiosity, how much does a magic course cost these days?
I'm certain you can't afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a garden full of flowers, fruit trees, and young elves of both sexes copulating merrily all the day. And the illusion is complete. The flowers have an aroma. The fruit and she-elves are juicy.
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly see it. Professional curiosity.
Naturally. But I doubt Philippa's in the mood for complicated illusions. She focuses all her efforts on Saskia.
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. I've seen all the great sorceresses at work. Sheila's quite manly in her style. Precise, logical, exceptionally composed, but she lacks grace and suppleness.
Is that your opinion? Or are you just repeating what Philippa says?
We agree in our assessment. Triss Marigold, on the other hand, is talented. But she lacks determination, courage, and a certain cold willfulness that seems necessary.
That's interesting.
Kira Metz and Margarita Lowe Antiel are both blasé, seemingly resigned. One's a hedonist and nymphomaniac, the other cares only about her school. They lost enthusiasm for magic long ago. Then there's Francesca Finderbear. Nobody really knows what the old she-elf is capable of, but she's clearly very powerful.
I take it Philippa has none of these flaws, but she must have some weakness.
Ambition. Infinite, boundless, and burning like the Korath Desert.
Magic or danger?
So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
I don't know.
What's to consider? Yorvith's not just any troublemaker.
Elves, they talk a lot, think very little. In the end, they end up dead, shouting, "We really showed them."